Bet you didn't see this.
Now, to be clear, I have already sent Candace the $300,000 and fulfilled my end of the contract with her. If you guys want to help me in bearing that cost and help cushion the overwhelming attacks from her sycophants, here's where you can donate.
So in case you haven't been paying attention, Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens are set to have a debate on Friday. And the funny thing about this is Andrew Wilson is the one that offered $300,000 for her to debate him on this whole Charlie Kirk assassination, Tyler Robinson case, yada, yada, yada. But before I get into this video, everybody needs to understand something really important. And I've talked about this many, many times. Throughout this entire case, throughout this entire situation with Charlie Kirk, these people, whoever you believe it is that's pulling the strings, have done an absolutely incredible job of running the same playbook that they always run, which is they make an issue all about certain people. So for the longest time, it's been Candace Owens versus Erica Kirk. And if you believe even one thing that Candace Owens says, then you're just part of her cult, right? And if you believe anything that Erica Kirk says, then all of a sudden you're on the side of the official narrative and vice versa, right? Basically, they have just made it all about those two people, when in fact, it has nothing to do with those people. It has nothing to do with the grieving widow, and it has nothing to do with the witch who's grifting off of Charlie's death, or whatever these people are trying to label these people as, right? It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the truth versus the suppression of the truth, or the agenda to not ask any more questions when it comes to this entire situation, which is absolutely insane because all the people telling you you can't ask questions and you must just believe the official narrative and trust the government and trust the FBI and everything else are the same people who months ago were saying that that's not what you should be doing, and who were pushing against all the official narratives and the government and the FBI and everything else. But now it's changed. Now it's changed because all of these people are on the exact same side. And it's pretty easy to figure that out because all you have to do is go to their profile. You can pretty much guarantee that if somebody is on the side of the official narrative of Charlie Kirk, that they are also extremely anti-Candace and anti-asking questions and anti-conspiracy theories, right? It's just a game. And the same playbook is being run. Well, now it's not just Erica Kirk versus Candace Owens. Now it's become Andrew Wilson versus Candace Owens. And so now you have this next wave of this person versus this person, when in reality, once again, the entire issue is the truth versus the suppression of the truth. And the only thing that you should care about is finding the truth and is asking the questions that get closer to the truth. It's not about convicting someone. It's not about not convicting someone. It's not about saying that this is an open shut case. It's about asking the questions about all of the inconsistencies and ridiculousness that exists around this case. And it's about you realizing that the side you should be on is that side. Not the side that is just saying that you need to trust the official narrative, believe the government, trust the FBI, and that everybody and anybody that questions any part of this is just a crazy doomer, conspiracy theorist, satanic, hateful person. And aside from the fact that now he is crowdfunding all of that money that he himself said he would pay if Candace debated him, aside from that fact, he's also pissed off and whining that his choice of a moderator, who is Joe Rogan, was not selected, but Candace clearly explained why she didn't want Joe Rogan to be the moderator. And I believe now they chose to do Patrick Bet-David, which I don't understand that either. I don't think that's a great choice, but whatever, it is what it is. But anyway, let's pick this video apart piece by piece.
On the other side, though, in this particular conspiracy, you can't get these people to debate their positions.
Okay, so first let me just start off by saying I actually think it's dumb that Candace is taking this debate. I think it's dumb that anybody's trying to debate this case because it's like if you were to have debated that the Patriot Act would become what it has become before it actually became a thing. On either side, there's no real facts. You have the one side that swears up and down that the evidence is clear, that it's unequivocal, that it's unquestionable. And then on top of that, you have the same people that are swearing that this evidence is so clear who have also been caught in multiple lies and manipulation and propaganda. And the fact is, none of the evidence is clear, and there's tons of inconsistencies and tons of questions and tons of things that don't make any sense. And it's just messy. And then you have the other side that is connecting different dots and coming up with different things. And a lot of it does make sense. And a lot of it can stand on its own if you actually consider what's really happening and if you consider the background, if you consider the past and the present. But either way, when you actually boil it down, both sides don't have any clear-cut facts, even though either side wants to pretend they do. There's no clear-cut facts. The fact is nobody knows anything yet. Everyone is speculating. The trial hasn't even started. So to debate this is just ridiculous. But anyway, let's see what this guy has to say.
He offered, Candace Owens, I offered her $300,000 to do a debate. I was like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Erica Kirk to murder Charlie.
Based on what?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Nobody actually knows. She's never presented a single shred of evidence thus far that Israel ever worked to murder Kirk, that Erica Kirk certainly didn't.
See, this right here is absolutely insane, because to say that no evidence or no valid information has been presented to lead someone to believe that Israel could have been involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and that there's clear influence there, and that it's a possibility that his wife or that Turning Point USA could have stood to gain from his death and could have been involved. It's absolutely insane to present that. The fact that Bibi Netanyahu and Jerusalem Post were the first ones to post about his death. What's that about? Or how about all the connections to Mossad with the security detail and everything else? How about the fact that everything he was speaking about before he died is exactly what has taken place? The Epstein files, the Iran war, everything that Israel is doing in the Middle East, all of the entanglements, all of the America Last policy. He would have been vehemently against all of it. How about the donors and the obvious pivot in the messaging when it comes to Turning Point USA and everything that they now stand for? How about all the different organizations that have been dug up that are clearly funding this organization or part of this organization that have clear ties to the state of Israel, when he himself was saying he was pulling away from it? How about everything we know about Hasbara and the influencers that were flown to Israel to learn how to be propagandists basically for the state of Israel, who claim to be America first, but if you go to their pages, they are clearly not America first. They are America second, third, fourth, fifth, and last. And the fact that an Israeli organization would use to geofence hundreds of thousands of Christians, wait for it, at Charlie Kirk's memorial.